Protesters have taken to the streets nearly every day in Thessaloniki, and most of the crowd is made up of students and school children.
They can't take away our right to demonstrate. We're fighting for our dreams.
But more and more parents and older people are joining the students' protests. They're demonstrating against the police, but also against the government's policies.
Politicians aren't offering any solutions for our country's problems. That's why everyone should be protesting, but peacefully, without violence and destruction.
Kostas Cousis is a student who's leading the protest here.
The biggest problem for young people is they don't have any job opportunities. There are no guarantees. Many have no choice but to go from one job to the next all the time. No one in our generation can establish themselves. It's frustrating.
But the demonstrations have often been followed by scenes of violence, such as here in Athens, but also in other areas of Greece like Thessaloniki. The unrest was sparked by the death of a 15-year-old who was hit by a bullet fired by a police officer. The aftermath of the destruction is still plain to see in Thessaloniki. Much of the vandalism was directed at banks and businesses, with damages in the millions. The only people benefiting directly are the companies out repairing all the broken windows, who are now busy working around the clock.
It's not just the damage. We shop owners also lost a lot of business. For 4 days, we hardly had any customers. People were just afraid to go out on the street.
Life is slowly getting back to normal in Thessaloniki, but beneath the surface, tensions lie dormant. The protests have changed nothing for young people. A quarter don't have any job, and many with work can hardly make ends meet.
They earn from 400 to 700 euros a month. Obviously, it's not enough to get by on, which has an impact on how young people live. They have no orientation, no future, and it frustrates them, because they're increasingly dependent on their family.
Thanassis Agapitos has 2 grown children and completely understands the dilemma. Like many in Greece, he fears the next generation will be poorer than his own. It's a departure from the past decades that saw improving economic conditions in the country.
When people complain about all the broken store windows, nobody stops to think about what's tormenting young people and what we could do to improve their situation. When nothing happens, it's only normal that young people rise up, and that's good.
Now people of all generations are joining together in demonstration, but nobody has a quick answer to solve all the problems Greece is facing, not even the protest leaders. For them, what counts is showing their anger and not giving in to resignation. They just want to have their concerns addressed.